I believe many people are going to miss out on HBAR, just like many people did in the 2021's run. You can see in January of HBAR went from give or take 1 cent to over 50 cents in the first 2021 bull run that HBAR actually had. And for those of you that can't do quick maths, that's a 50x. In 2022, we've seen prices from the 35 cents for years to run to almost 40 cents. So this is when we were kind of starting to DCN again. And obviously we know HBAR had that massive pump up to 40 cents. And just seeing that for this bull run for HBAR, brother, that gives me a lot of confidence, right? Because HBAR, in my opinion, is going to have one of the biggest returns in this kind of market cap that HBAR is, right? It's not an 8 million market cap coin. It's not an 80,000 market cap coin. It's obviously an 8 billion market cap coin at give or take 19, 20 or so cents. So when we had that run, that kind of gave me a lot of confidence that HBAR is probably going to do a lot of things for this 2025 bull run. But in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly my HBAR strategy going forward and really how much HBAR you're probably looking at to exit if that is your goal for the $1 million value. And more specifically, how I'm playing HBAR for my bull run bag. Now here's just a couple of reasons why on screen that HBAR is one of my biggest altcoin positions. And the main reason was this little council members right here. You can see these guys have the biggest council members on their platform, right? We're talking Google, we're talking LG, big companies are backing and part of Hedera's council members. And also, a lot of people don't know that Hedera Hashgraph isn't just on our blockchain. It's a next-gen enterprise-grade network that outpaces, obviously, Ethereum, Solana, and of course, Bitcoin in terms of speed, scalability, and security. And just facts, boys and girls out there, 10,000 transactions per second, give or take. And other blockchains, obviously, like Solana, we've seen many times, and especially Ethereum, in a bull run, they get congested, right? So HBAR is one of the fastest, and this makes it perfect for that real world adoption down the line. Now, another one that nobody seems to really care about, and I don't really, to be honest, but it's carbon negative. And in a world that we're in today where most cars are going electric, HBAR is the only project with this sort of market cap that demands that greener solutions. It's one of the most environmentally friendly projects we have. And again, don't really care about this, but I'm kind of banking on a lot of Jeffries and that hype coming in the later of 2025 to really get behind that. And it's obviously got one of the biggest game-changing tech and one of the most active developers on a project of this size. It doesn't use the blockchain in the traditional sense. Graph actually has its own technology, which is obviously super good for transactions, for scalability, and just a lot of good things that you can see on screen, right? A lot of projects don't really have this going on for them, especially at this sort of market cap. Now, a lot of people always ask me about my portfolio and how it's really performing, and specifically 900K, give or take. But my HBAR position is back up above 100 grand in profits. And the story with me with HBAR, you're probably asking if you're a new subscriber, or maybe you want to be reminded. I had the good, I had the bad, and I had the fucking ugly. So the good really started here. Got invested in it, started speaking about my YouTube channel a lot back in 2020. And made a fuck ton of money on paper. But unfortunately, that we're going to talk about later on in this video, which I think is super important to potentially hitting the $1 million HBAR position if your goals are that. Maybe it's 100K, maybe it's even $10,000. But the most important thing for me, when this got really bad, was when we entered the bear market. And when this got fucking ugly, was when I put $40,000 in, give or take, around about 14 cents, because I didn't understand that this was the final dip. I just thought it was a little mini dip and I didn't really understand the 4-year cycle. So I've had a great story with HBAR because I started DCN again, and obviously we're back up above 100K in profit, but my goal is $1 million. I'm going to be real with you, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that at the end of this video. But I've had every sort of experience under the sun with HBAR, and you might have had that too. I know a lot of people that sold this shit and they rebought back up here. So you're really feeling the bad and the ugly. You got to get some good trades on with HBAR, and it should be a 2025 position and not a short-term trade, in my opinion. Now, speaking of short-term trades, just real quick, we really share this in our private community, but I wanted to give you this for free. We use our GG indicator, and for entries, if you're looking at a DC on this did flip on the 22nd of April, so we do get some confirmation, and this is on the daily, and it's really nice because you can see every single time this is flipped to green, it's pretty much called HBAR perfectly for your longs and shorts. So if you are trading this, HBAR has been a great coin for us on the daily for those that are trading this. Like I said, I'm more of a DCA player, so this is more of my DCA strategy when I use this. I'm not here to enter and short, I'm here to exit by 2025 and these certain price predictions that we'll talk about. But again, just real quick, for for those guys that don't have access to this. It's looking very good on the green. Now, obviously, Bitcoin has to keep performing or this will change to red. So here's the actual facts on why I'm in HBAR for this bull run and why I still believe it's going to pump. Obviously, we've just talked about enterprise adoption. There's real world use case with billion-dollar brands behind HBAR currently right now. CBDCs is another one, and government projects. HBAR is already involved in conversations and pilot tests behind this CBDCs whole thing that we've got going on. And obviously narrative rotation is a big one. For those of you that don't know, we have sort of narrative pumps, which kind of looks like this. This was from the 2021 bull run, and with every single crypto bull run, shifts happen every single cycle. Now obviously HBAR is really going after enterprise blockchain, I guess you could say, and that will be serious catch for momentum if that can come around for 2025. That's just a Brucey bonus, but you can see here in 2021 you had Ethereum killers, scaling, privacy, DeFi, and now we've got obviously meme coins, we've got AI, we've got AI agents, we've got RWA, we've got Deepin, but I really do think we're going to get some enterprise kind of play in here for this bull run, and like I said, that's just a Brucey bonus, but just remember, narrative rotation is very important. Now, it's a low market cap compared to its potential. If you look at Solana and obviously Ethereum, now HBAR doesn't have to hit Solana's and Ethereum's market cap to do well, let alone what they're going to hit in the 2025 bull run by the peaks. It's just such a great opportunity in my opinion, because I still believe it's small enough and early enough for people that aren't in HBAR to come in and buy. And obviously global payments is another narrative I guess you could talk about. It's tokenizing assets, decentralizing identity, and supply chain management, which if HBAR plays this right, they could be the chosen one, or the chosen tech, should I say, behind this. Now, if you also go to a new category, it's not new anymore, but new for some people, Made in America, HBAR did make this list, which is very fucking bullish, as you can see right now. So I believe a lot of Americans, a lot of Jeffrey Americans, and even people in the UK, Canada, they'll come to here for their more safer bets, and they'll start betting the house on once Bitcoin hits 110, 120k. And they'll see HBAR being so cheap in terms of price because they don't understand market cap. And I do think if your coin's on here, it's probably going to be a guaranteed good bull run. It's not going to be the million X returns, but it's obviously a great thing if your coins are made in America, because this category will fly, in my opinion. So the question that we're all trying to ask is, for that $1 million HBAR value, how many HBAR will you need? Now, this completely depends. Price predictions can get crazy. I got completely wrecked in the last bull run because I had stupid price predictions, and I think I've learned from them. But if this is your first chance you're looking at HBAR, I want to be realistic, and then I'll give you a moonshot. But if we just round prices to 20 cents, obviously it's hard right now, it's 18.5 cents, so I'm just going to round it to 20 cents, as math's going to be hard for some people's IQ, including mine. Firstly, basic math. If HBAR never moved and stayed at 20 cents, you would need 5 million HBAR to become a millionaire. $1 million divided by 20 cents equals 5 million. But obviously we know and expect HBAR to not be at the same price today for this bull run, or we might literally invest in anything else, because that would be a waste of our time and, of course, money. Now, if HBAR hits that magical $1 mark, like I think it will, it's only a 5x from today, which I think is really reasonable. And I mean, you don't need a calculator for that maths, and if your IQ is below 35, I'll help you out here. 1 million divided by 1 is, guess what, 1 million coins needed. Now, a more bullish price for HBAR at $2, which could happen, but we'll talk about why I'm not going to play it for $2 in a second. At the end, 1 million divided by 2, you would need 500,000 HBAR coins. And if you were to buy at today's price of give or take that 20 cents mark, it cost you about 100 grand. That's a lot of fucking money. Now, if you want to get wrecked and lose all of your money by holding for a $10 HBAR coin, which by the way, will never ever fucking happen in this bull run, future bull runs of course, but it's not going to happen in this bull run. But for that 0.0001%, and if you are very silly, you would need 100,000 HBAR at simple math at $10 to become a millionaire. And that would still cost you 20 grand, which is still a lot of money. Now, here's how I'm playing HBAR. So very basic stuff on this chart. HBAR and many other coins in this altcoin season, and even Bitcoin, is going to crash hard after 2025. That's what I believe in. I'm investing for this cycle, 4-year cycle. That's what I believe in. Now, remember, the biggest advice with HBAR, and really any other coin in your portfolio, you're not going to be able to sell it at X price. So if you believe HBAR is going to go to $2, let's just say, you're not going to be able to just come in here and cash out 100% at $2, because number one, it might get to 195, and how pissed off are you going to be? Okay, so that's what got me wrecked in the last bull run, by waiting for all of these price predictions that never happened. What you can also do, or what you should do instead, is a 20% layering out strategy. So if you want to take your first 20% out at give or take the previous 2021 high, you could do that. And then you could scale out to maybe 85, 75, whatever. And then once you get above the $1, in my opinion, that's where it's going to get a little bit frothy. And then you could maybe leave a 10%, 5% bag above the $2 as a what if scenario, so just in case. And then you could also sell on the way down as well. And if you do that, I can ultimately guarantee you will make way more money, plus be way more safe than a guy selling at an X price for whatever reason. And the point really with that is you're guaranteed to make money, and that's the game. Trust me, take it from someone that lost everything in the last bull market, looking to sell at 100% out at certain prices, and my bags, it didn't end well. Now, if you also want to see a big warning with HBAR, if you're already invested in it or you're looking to, you're going to want to watch this video here. I made this a couple of weeks ago, which I still think is relevant. And it's not only going to give you everything you need with HBAR, going on what we just talked about today, but ultimately it's going to tell you exactly what I'm doing with my $1 million coins to exit in 2025. So go and click the link if you want to go and see more on HBAR, and I'll see you over there, guys. Peace and take care.